Hey traders, Jason here with Day Trading Fearless. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. And this is the weekly watch list for March 14th, 2022. I'm going to go over crude oil, S&P futures, NASDAQ, a couple other things of kind of get a well-rounded picture of the direction of the stock market over the next week. And I'm going to tell you maybe levels to watch for potential bounces and things like that. But first, make sure you check out my website, daytradingfearless.com, to sign up for the $99 lifetime subscription special for the weekly S&P Emini trade zones. These are zones where I give you resistance, support, open gaps, and open VPOCs for the following week trading. You also, in the member section, will receive a 2-hour trade zone training video course where I teach you everything about the trade zones, how to draw them, so you could trade any stock, future, or cryptocurrency. And you also get the member section with all the resistance, support levels, and things like that to draw in any chart. So make sure you check it out. Links down below, but right back to the video. Okay, with that being said, let's jump into the weekly watch list. So we're looking at the S&P E-mini futures. Remember, the futures rolled on Thursday to Friday, right? So we're now using the June contract. So if you are a member of the weekly watch the weekly S&P E-mini future trades, we are now on the June contract for all those levels. But let's draw a couple lines, right? Well, first off, let's look at the bigger picture. We've been making higher highs, higher lows this whole way up, broke the trend line finally with power. Okay, and then we kind of were being held down below the 50 period, and now we're being held down below the 200. We potentially may have a golden cross moving crossover, which is kind of a bearish signal. I've been saying it, and I said, I believe last week, I believe we are now starting a recession with high gas prices, okay, higher food costs, higher rent, higher everything, but yet people really aren't making that much money. I'm talking the everyday people. That eventually is going to make them stop going to Applebee's. Okay, and Olive Garden and wherever, traveling. I think we're going to start to see food keep going higher because of gas. Because it costs so much more money now to transport milk and any type of goods, because it's all ran by trucks, which are ran off of gas. So with that being said, sorry about that little rant. Let's get into drawing some trend lines. So we're just going to kind of hit this high, go from this low down to this low. But the problem with this trend line is it really doesn't kind of make it clean. So we're going to get rid of that. Okay, and the reason I'm showing you this is the correct way to draw trend lines, right? So we see two pivots here, one pivot here. Now we have a very clean, perfect channel, and look at where the lower end of this channel comes right down to this potential high volume node over the next week or two. Not saying we're going to get there, but I do believe we are going to have another leg lower. I just feel like we're making lower highs and lower lows, and the RSI is looking bearish to me. I think we're going to kind of take this out. I think there's just too much bearishness in the market, needs this correction. I've been saying this for weeks, okay? We just need a good, healthy, clean flush, and there are just news events that help that flush. So my levels, let's grab one more thing, Fibonacci extension. We're going to go from this high to this low because all of this price action is within here. So we're going to go from that high to that low and then back up, and these are the levels. And look at where the 1618 comes. You know, I've been calling for 4,000 for a long time, with a potential overshoot down to about the 3,700 level. That's where I'm looking for maybe, okay, now things could kind of slow down on the downtrend and maybe start to go sideways and work its way back up. We haven't seen that crazy flush yet, but I will show you we were in a bullish, right? Reverse waterfall, right? And then we had a reversal, open, went higher, and took out the slow. So we now have engulfed that. That's a bearish engulfment. So I'm looking for lower prices. Sorry it took so long. Sorry for the little rant, but these are things that I want you to really think about and understand what's going on overall with the overall markets, and why you gotta kind of stop being so bullish. This is when you're bullish. This is when you're bearish. We are definitely in a downtrend. We are not going to be seeing all-time highs anytime soon, with a potential war going on, with high gas, high food, and also interest rates. Remember, the Fed comes out this week, so and they're probably going to hike interest rates. Now with Nasdaq, same exact thing going on. I drew these levels, right? A while back, we hit the 127. We're there, I think 1618, and then the 200, which is a low volume node there. Let's take a look at crude oil. Okay, you guys know for a long time on this entire run up, okay, all last kind of winter, towards the end of the year, I said we were going to $90 a barrel. We hit 90. When we hit 90, I said we're going to 125. Guess what? We hit 125. Now, I actually think we're going to 150. Call me crazy, but if things do escalate even more overseas, I think we could see oil hit the 150 level. That would be a double top from all the way back out in 2008. So keep an eye on that. Don't think this moves over, even though that might have been a capitulation. I think we still have at least a retest of that 130 level, but we will see. Bitcoin/BTC. Bitcoin kind of feels weak. I've been saying this for a long time. I'm sticking to my guns, and it just can't get out of its way. If the market cracks, this Bitcoin may crack too with it. And we may see a hard flush. If we get back in this channel, we'll see a hard flush, probably back down to the other end. So be careful if you're long. I'm just saying it may happen over the weekend. It may be quick and dirty, kind of like something that happened back here, right? Where it just happens over a weekend or something like that. Just something to be aware of. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, when we broke out, I said, are we going higher, lower? I said higher probably. And then we broke out. I said we were probably going back up to these highs. And guess what? We came very close to them. We're not there yet. We're pulling back. I think a pullback and then a bounce higher. If the market does reverse, fear comes in and things like that. Silver kind of breaking out. Silver is definitely lagging. We are nowhere near the all-time high, these recent multi-year highs. But with that being said, watch for a pullback, maybe look to be a buyer, and then a bounce higher. Finally, AAPL. Reason I like to look at Apple is because it is such a big component of both the S&P futures and the Nasdaq. And Apple, I've been calling this, I think Apple needs a flush. I'm going to tell you guys, even though it's really hasn't gone lower, I think it just needs that flush for a healthy market. We keep bouncing off this 200. If we actually flush, I think we could get down into the 140 level, which would be the lower end of this trend line. If we get there, I will look to be selling probably the 120 or 110 puts for either a week or a couple weeks out. Not trade advice, just some do on YouTube, but that's what I'm looking at for that. So as always, thank you for watching. Let me know if you guys like these rants and all that. And with that being said, be careful out there, and we'll talk to you soon.